Hello. Let's find a nice flow today. Just a good overall full body flow. It'll be about 45 to 60 minutes, depending upon how quickly we move or settle into those poses. So grab those props, just your strap, that block, and of course have your water bottle handy and nearby in case you get thirsty. Let's bring ourselves down to the mat, adjusting those sits bones out of the way as you settle in, finding the length long through the spine. Let those arms rest in the lap or draped over the knees. We'll start that little tip side to side. Remember, make this practice yours today. You might be rolling those shoulders up and back, small or overly exaggerated rolls, bumping that low side of the ribs right and left, or just leaning. See what feels right in your body in this moment. But with that next exhale breath, let's close our eyes, adding that head gently into the tip and flow. Nice and smooth, nice and fluid. Can feel the shoulders drop a little farther away from the ears as you settle in. As you move, take a moment, checking within your body for any spots that are sore or tight. Remember, challenging yourself is good, but no pain in yoga. At any time, go into that child's pose if needed, and stop for those sips of water when thirsty. But any outside thoughts try to creep in and distract you. Give them a moment of acknowledgement and then push those thoughts right off of the mat. This time is just for you. Just feel the breath. Hear those chimes in the distance, those birds singing. Well, let's let that motion start to slow and come to a stop, shifting slightly forward and back, settling within, looking for that space where you feel centered and grounded. And with an exhale breath, tip the chin to chest. Just enjoying that stretch down the back of the neck and across the tops of the shoulders. As you inhale, float the chin up towards the ceiling. Remember, nothing severe or extreme, just nice and open. Bringing the head level and slowly dropping that right ear to right shoulder. You may even find yourself rocking slightly, forward and back, that self-soothing rock. Let's float the head through center and bring that left ear to left shoulder. And bring the head level. Roll those shoulders up and back. Again, small or overly exaggerating that motion. And let's relax the arms by the sides to share a few breaths all together as we open our practice. So as you inhale, float the arms long to ceiling, fingers connecting and lifting, glancing up and open. With an exhale, let's twist to the right, bracing off of the knee and supporting behind the spine with the hands. Come back to center, those arms resting by the sides. And inhale, arms long to ceiling, fingers connecting and lifting. Stretching high. With an exhale, twist left. Again, finding that support with the hands. And come back to center, rolling those shoulders up and back. Let's reverse the direction, shoulders up and forward once or twice. Give a little shimmy and shake through the shoulders and arms. And let's walk those right fingers far away from the body, planting the palm, pressing through the arm and crescent mooning that left arm overhead. Glancing up, nice and open through the chest. You may even feel that stretch in that left hip. Press into the right hand, coming back to center, arms by the sides. Let's inch those left fingers far away, planting the palm and crescent mooning that right arm overhead, glancing up and open. That stretch now in the outside of the right hip. Press into that left hand, coming back to center, and give those shoulders a roll up and back. Let's extend those legs long in front. And as you exhale, fold forward from the waist, sliding the hands down the legs, nose and knee together. Staying long through the spine as you settle. Inhaling, lift out slightly, bringing the gaze forward as the spine stays long. With an exhale, refold, nose and knees near. Slide the hands up the legs, coming to seated, tucking that left heel in towards the groin as you open the right leg long to the side, lining the chest up with the right knee and ankle, and walking the hands down the leg, nose and knee together once again. You'll feel that stretch in the outside of the left hip. Inhaling, lifting out, keeping that spine long as you gaze forward. With an exhale, refold. Walk the hands up the leg and let's switch sides. Tucking that right heel in towards the groin as the left leg opens long to the side, lining the chest up with the left knee and ankle, and walking the hands down the leg, nose and knee together. But that stretch now in the outside of the right hip. Inhaling, lifting out slightly, the spine long. With an exhale, refold. Walking the hands up the leg. Let's open that right leg wide again. And just fold forward, releasing onto the forearms, relaxing the back of the neck and the shoulders. Let's give those feet a little shake. Toes pointing long to ceiling. Staying right here or inching those arms farther away from you. Again, keeping the toes long to ceiling. You'll feel that stretch increase in the back of the upper thighs. Plant the palms and stretch those arms long, lifting the elbows away from the mat. And as you inhale, slide the hands coming back to seated. Let's pop those knees up and down a couple of times, letting go of any tension or tightness in the back of the thighs. And fold forward, coming onto hands and knees. Those wrists dropping below the shoulders, knees below the hips. Press that outside edge of each hip towards each opposite side wall. Just looking to let go of any tension or tightness you're holding on to. Let's stretch our toes. So tuck those toes under, making sure you get that little toe tucked as well. And simply shift forward and back. You're in complete control of how much stretch or pressure is put on those toes. And only if it feels good, rest the bum against the heels, even rocking slightly side to side. Remember, this is your practice. You have to live with your body tomorrow, so take care and listen today. Be kind and honest with yourself about how you're feeling. Let's release out, giving those toes a little slap into the mat, letting go of that tension. And just shift those hips side to side. But from center, come down onto the right forearm. And as you inhale, sweep the left arm long to ceiling or plant the palm against the lower back, your sacrum, right on top of that tramp stamp tattoo. Chest open. With an exhale, release that hand down. You're resting on both forearms. Gently rock those hips side to side. From center, left forearm planted firm, and inhaling, float the right arm long to ceiling, again reaching through the fingers for the ceiling or planting the palm against your sacrum, your low back. Feeling the shoulder and chest open. With an exhale, release back down, and let's shift those hips side to side. Come back into those long arms. That tabletop position, nice and gentle. And let's find a few rounds of cat-cow. So spread the fingers wide, planting the palms, pressing long through the arms, rounding the upper back and shoulders, the chin tucking into the chest as the tailbone descends down. Inhaling, the heart moves forward as the chest opens, that controlled sway through back and belly as the tailbone tips up. Exhaling for cat, feeling that space open between the shoulder blades. And inhaling for cow, shoulder blades connecting as you glance towards the wall in front of you. And feel the flow, that smooth motion, nice and gentle. Your timing and pace. Let's find one more cat and cow each. Sinking those hips back towards the heels, coming down onto the forearms and resting the forehead to mat as you settle into child's pose. Fully letting go, just releasing to the mat. Let's walk those hands off the left side of the mat, stacking that right hand on top of the left before folding in. Walk those hands through center, off the right side of the mat, left hand topping right before folding in. Coming back to center, resting the forehead down. And take this moment, letting go, relaxing the body. Let's also relax that mind. We all carry too much in today's world, carrying so many things that we're not using or aren't serving us in a positive way today. Pick just one and try to let that go with each exhale breath, releasing a bit more. Lift those eyes towards the hands and start inching those hands and arms a little farther away, feeling the hips lift. Bring the chin to the mat as you gaze towards the hands, settling into puppy. And plant the left hand firm, lifting slightly, so you can slide that right arm along the mat under the torso, releasing down to the shoulder as you peek under the left arm. We're gently threading the needle. It's a nice stretch right between those shoulder blades. Press into the left hand to lift slightly, switching hands. And slide that left arm along the mat, under the torso, releasing down onto the shoulder as you peek under the right arm. Press into that right hand and walk both hands back as you settle into child's pose. Those knees might be wide, like a frog, or that back draped over those bent knees, just enjoying that little bend. You can hear the birds in the distance singing, and that steady drone. Remember, if you feel lost, listen for the drone. Let that be your anchor. And just come back to the drone. Let's keep moving before we get too comfortable. Sliding the arms and hands long in front, gazing towards the fingers. Let's start that child's pose flow. Inhaling, shifting forward to kneeling plank, and pressing back child's pose. From kneeling plank, tucking the toes, floating the knees, pressing into the heels for plank, and shifting back into down dog. Taking your time, just enjoying the motion. Feeling the body support you as you move. That next time you press back into down dog, let's hold there and start pedaling those legs. Just taking that dog for a little walk. Looking to let go of any snap, crackles, or pops in the body you might still be holding on to. Plant that right foot firm, bending the left knee and resting the top of the left toes down to the mat. Right foot firmly planted. Enjoy that stretch. Let's switch sides. Planting the left foot firm, that little bend in the right knee, resting the top of the right foot down. Step those feet hip bone distance apart and gently sway those hips high in the air. Just wagging that tail high. Plant the left foot firm and float the right leg high, three-legged dog, flexing and pointing the ankle at the top. Point long through the toe, lifting high onto the left toes, coming into that three-legged plank. With an exhale, release that left heel back down to the mat. Let's shift forward, tapping the back of the right elbow with the knee before pressing back, pointing long through the toe, three-legged dog. And repeat 2 more times. Your timing and pace. All meeting in three-legged dog, pointing long through the toe. Kick that heel even higher towards the ceiling. We're opening that space wider between the thighs. And shift the gaze to the hands. Let's step that foot forward. Hands framing the foot as you bounce into that left heel, finding that strength and stability within. Lift onto the left big toes, planting the inner arch, adjusting the right hand to the big toe side of the foot. And as you inhale, float the left arm long to ceiling, opening the chest, feeling that right shin and forearm supporting one another. Or have a little bit of fun, coming into a bind. Or not. Those birds still singing in the distance. Exhaling. Reframe the foot with the hands, adjusting the left foot to come back onto the toe and bounce into the heel. And slowly drop that left knee down to the mat. As you exhale, shift the hips back as you fold forward from the waist, nose and knee together. Just enjoying that stretch as it runs down the back of the right leg. Inhaling, shift forward, walking the hands up onto the knee, peeling the belly off the thigh and sweeping the arms long to ceiling. Chest nice and open. Have fun playing with that micro back bend. As you exhale, bring those arms long by the side, shoulder height. And let's twist right. Resting the left hand on the bent knee, the right arm dropping by the hip. And hold here. Or find that little challenge, engaging the core and floating that left foot up, letting the toes connect with the hand. You can even draw that heel deeper towards the thigh to stretch the front of the leg, or not. But hold that control, nice and gentle as you release that foot back down to the mat, reframing the right foot with the hands, and as you exhale, shift the hips back, this time rolling onto the heel to point the toes long to ceiling. Nose and knee together. Inhaling, shifting forward, hands framing the foot. Tuck the left toe under to float the knee as you press into the heel, and let's set up for pigeon. Wiggle walking those right toes, bringing them behind the left wrist, and sinking those knees down to the mat. But reach for that prop, a block or a blanket to tuck under that right bum cheek and keep you from rolling over. And let's see where the body wants to settle here. Long, high arms, coming down onto the forearms or fully reclining. Maybe the forehead is resting to mat. But whatever position you're in, close those eyes. And feel your breath, that gentle rise and fall. And still work on letting go. Just enjoying the breath, those birds. Find 2 more full breaths here. And start walking those hands back into long arms, even bringing the hands onto the thigh to open the low back bend. Let's tuck that prop out of the way off to the side. Hands firmly planted to mat. Tuck the left toe under, floating the knee as you press into the heel and step back into plank. Bouncing into both heels or rocking onto the toes before shifting back into down dog, those feet hip distance apart, and just swaying the hips side to side. Plant the right foot firm, floating the left leg high, 3-legged dog, flexing and pointing the ankle at the top. Point through the toes as you lift high onto the right toes, that 3-legged plank. And slowly bring that right heel back down to the mat. And as you inhale, shift forward to tap the back of the left elbow with the knee and press back, 3-legged dog. Repeat twice more, your timing and pace. All meeting together, 3-legged dog, pointing long through the toe. Kick that heel higher and bring the gaze to the hands. And when ready, let's step that foot forward. Hands framing the foot as you bounce into that left heel. Let's lift onto the right big toes, planting the inner arch. And adjust the left hand to the big toe side of the foot. Inhaling, sweep the right arm long to ceiling or let it settle against your sacrum. Chest open. Holding here or having fun, coming into that bind. Or not. You know your body best. Just feeling the breath. Let's reframe the foot with the hands, adjusting the right toe so we're bouncing back into the heel. But slowly sink that right knee down to the mat, and as you exhale, shift the hips back, folding forward from the waist, nose and knee together. Just enjoying that stretch running down the back of the left leg. Inhaling to shift forward, walking the hands up onto the knee, peeling the belly off the thighs, sweep those arms long to ceiling, playing with that micro back bend or not. Bring those arms long, shoulder height by the body, and let's twist left. That right hand resting on the knee, left arm hanging by the hip, and hold right here. Or engage that core and slowly float the right toes up to the hand. Remember to smile through any shakes or wiggles today. You're not alone. Can draw that heel deep towards the bum, stretching the front of the thigh or not. But try to hold that control as you release the toe, letting it sink back down to the mat, and reframe the foot with the hands. As you exhale, shift the hips back, rolling onto the heel to point those toes long to ceiling, nose and knee together. And inhaling, shifting forward. Hands framing the foot. Tuck the right toe under, floating the knee, pressing into the heel, and let's find pigeon on this side. Wiggling those toes behind the right wrist, and sinking the knees down. That prop going under the left bum cheek this time. Again, we're still keeping you from rolling over. Those arms might want to stay long. Release down onto the forearms or fully recline. Rest that forehead to mat. Close your eyes. Feel your breath flow. Hear that melody playing in the distance and just let go. Find 2 more full breaths here. Let's start walking up into those long arms. Maybe bringing those hands onto the thigh to open the low back bend, or not. Move that prop out from under the bum. And with hands planted firm, tuck the right toe under, floating the knee, bouncing into the heel, and step back into plank. Bouncing into both heels or rocking onto the tips of the toes. Slowly bring the front of the body down to the mat, hands resting under the shoulders as the elbows tuck in by the ribs. And when ready, press into the hands, floating to find up dog or cobra. Your choice. Shoulders relaxed away from the ears. It's a big back bend. Slowly, as you exhale, bring the front of the body back down to the mat and rock those hips side to side. Let's roll onto the right hip, legs long and stacked. We're going to start out low on that right elbow, just supporting the head. Start bending the left knee and either using a strap or reaching peace sign fingers to the big toe. With an exhale, press through the heel towards the ceiling, just extending the leg fully long, even drawing towards the head if you want that little stretch. Let go of the toes and let that leg sink long to stack on top of the right. But let's play with a side plank, either leaving the legs stacked or bringing that top leg up about mid-thigh, flat of the foot to the mat, and support with that left hand to ankle. Your choice. I'm going to come higher onto the elbow for support. You want to dig that outside edge of the bottom foot into the mat, just getting that nice grip. When you're ready, on an inhale, press into that outside edge of the foot and the elbow to float the hips and the bum. It's making that long line through the body. That left arm either long to ceiling or resting on the hip, your choice. You can even arc that hip a little higher, your choice. Or not, stay right where you are. Again, smile through those wiggles and shakes. And with an exhale, slowly release down. Let's roll through center. Just a little rock through the hips before moving on to the left side. Those legs long and stacked. Start low on the elbow, just supporting the head. Let's bend that top knee. Again, peace sign fingers to the big toe or use that strap around the ball of the foot. With an exhale, press through the heel, extending long towards the ceiling. Even drawing that leg higher towards the head, or not. Letting go of the toe, legs sinking long. Let's set up for that side plank. Coming higher onto the elbow for support, maybe bringing that top leg up for that little kickstand. Let's dig that bottom edge, the outside edge of the left foot into the mat. And when you're ready, inhaling, press into the outside edge of the foot and the elbow to float the hips and bum. Core engaged. Smile through those shakes and wiggles. Maybe even arching the hips slightly, or not. Slow with control. Come back down to the mat, rolling onto the belly. And let's bring those hands under the shoulders, elbows tucking in by the ribs as you rock the hips side to side. Let's press up for one more up dog or cobra. That back should be more relaxed at this point. Hopefully you're feeling it. With an exhale, bring the front of the body back down to the mat, tucking the toes under. Let's press into the hands and toes to find plank. Bouncing into the heels before walking the feet forward towards the hands. We're coming into that deep forward fold, arms hanging long, top of the head dropping down. Let's lift into monkey, lifting onto the tips of the fingers, fingers to mat or your shins, bringing the gaze forward. You'll feel that stretch run down the back of the legs. With an exhale, sink the upper body back down, just settling into forward fold. Just enjoying that release, bum poking high to ceiling. But bring the toes and heels together to touch. And plant those hands about a foot in front of the toes. We're shifting the weight from feet to hands, back and forth, nice and gentle. Just feeling where we're at in our body, on the mat. But come into that level balance. And when you're ready, press through the right heel towards the wall behind you, hip height. And let's point and flex through the ankle and toes. Coming into a point and start pulsing lightly in an upward sensation. Can feel it in the top of the back of the thigh. Hold on the high side of the pulse, coming into a flex, and see if you can press that heel slightly higher. Get a tiny, tiny movement. We're feeling it though. And slowly bend the knee, setting the foot back down to the mat, and dropping the top of the head down for a moment, that bum lifting high. Hopefully finding a release. With hands planted firm, press through the left heel, hip height towards that wall behind you, and let's start pointing and flexing the toes and the ankle. Coming to a point and pulsing in an upward position. Again, it does not have to be a huge movement. You'll feel it. That thigh will start warming. Hold on the high side of the pulse, and let's find that flex and see if there's anything more to move in that upward direction still. Slowly bend the knee, bringing the feet together, dropping that top of the head down as you settle into that deep forward fold. As you exhale, bend the knees nice and deep, bringing the belly onto the thighs. And inhale to chair. Arms long in front or hands at heart center, taking care of the shoulders and low back. But bring those palms together, extending the arms long. Let's sweep those hips side to side. We're painting that smile behind you using just the bum. But with an inhale, circle sweep the arms, palms coming together as you stand tall, even playing with that micro back bend or not. Let's bring those hands to heart center, relaxing the arms by the sides. Let's roll those shoulders up and back a couple of times, letting go of any tension or tightness you might still be holding on to. Let's grab that strap. We're going to stretch the shoulders. And I have my strap folded in half, but it's a really long strap. So we want to start letting those arms hang that hip bone distance apart, gripping the strap that distance as well. And you want to come into a little pelvic tilt. So you're scooping the bottom of the bum down and forward. It feels odd at first, but as soon as you do find it, it clicks. You'll know that you're there. So when you're ready, on an inhale, start floating those arms long in front, lifting, stopping by the ears to lift even higher, and either hold here or draw the arms just behind the ears. Your choice. You can feel this stretch beginning in the shoulders. It's very tiny at this point. With an exhale, slowly bring those arms down. And as that strap connects to the thighs, we want to move the hands out 2 to 3 inches on each end of the strap and come back into that pelvic tilt. With your inhale, float those arms long in front, lifting, stopping at the ears to lift higher. And again, hold here or draw behind the head. Those shoulders are starting to open, the stretch starting to build. This always feels so good. I hope you're enjoying it as well. Nice and open. With an exhale, let's bring those arms back down. And one more time, 2 to 3 inches out each end of the strap, coming back into that pelvic tilt. And inhaling, arms floating long, stopping back the ears to lift, holding here or drawing back and open. This is the big stretch. Nice and open. Enjoy that space. And know that you're completely supported by that strap. Those birds still singing. With an exhale, let's bring those arms down and set that strap somewhere we can access it once we're on our backs. I think we'll have time. But let's face the long side of the mat for a moment. Opening the legs slightly wider than hip bone distance apart, turning the toes to the outer corners, sweeping the arms shoulder height, reaching long through the fingers towards those opposite side walls. Let's open and bend that right knee, starting to settle into a warrior two right, but flow in and out, checking that space and distance between the legs before settling in. Arms reaching long, wiggling the fingers. Make sure that the big toe is visible inside of the bent knee. Bring that right elbow to the knee, opening the chest with the left arm long to ceiling, or let that hand rest against your sacrum. Get nice and open. Holding right here, or bringing that right hand up to the chest. We're disconnecting the elbow and knee connection, making the core work a bit harder. Or stay where you are. But press back up, warrior two, stretching through the arms long. Fingers wiggling. Dropping the back hand to the thigh, front palm turning up. Let's slide back into reverse warrior. Feeling that stretch move through the sides of the torso, the ribs. Come back into warrior two arms. And let's adjust those legs through center. Starting to bend that left knee, but again, flow in and out. Check that space and distance this way. Making sure the big toe's visible inside of the bent knee, and reaching through those arms nice and long. Bringing that left elbow to the knee as you open the chest, right arm long to ceiling or your sacrum. Holding here or challenging yourself by bringing the hand up to the chest as we disconnect the elbow from the knee. Or not. Press back up, warrior two. Stretching through the arms. And let that back hand fall to the thigh, front palm turning up. Slide back into reverse warrior. Feel the chest open. Let's come back into warrior two. Stretching through the fingers. But turn both legs towards that long side of the mat, bringing the hands down by the hips and thighs. And as you exhale, slowly fold forward from the waist, hands sliding down the legs to the knees. Let that top of the head drop down, releasing any tension from the low back and spine. And either let these hands rest against the legs or interlace the fingers, drawing the shoulder blades together and reaching the arms long to ceiling. Just lifting slightly away from the spine. We don't want to jar the back at all or the shoulders. holding long to ceiling, or letting those arms drop down and forward towards the head. Your choice. See what feels right. If those arms are dropped down towards the head, slowly bring them back towards the spine, releasing the hands from holding one another and letting all hands slide down the outsides of the legs to settle at the ankles and toes. Let's adjust those hands under the face and lift the toes, rotating them so they're pointing inward towards the hands. Heels now pointing towards the back corners of those mats. Let that top of the head drop down once again. You'll feel how that stretch has changed in the back of the legs, just by that little adjustment with the toes. Just hanging upside down for a moment, letting go. But plant those hands firm and lift onto the toes, rotating the heels inward, those toes now pointing towards the outer corners. Let that top of the head drop down. And those heels should be about hip bone distance apart at this point. Plant those hands, making any adjustments if needed. With an exhale breath, let's start sinking into Malasana. That bum sinking between the heels, knees tracking the path of the toes, bringing the hands to heart center, and hold steady. Don't let that bum sink or drop. But glancing towards the mat, softening the gaze, just hearing those birds sing, just finding the grace in the moment. Let's bring the bum down to the mat and find a reverse tabletop. So with knees bent, walk the hands behind the back, bringing the shoulder blades together. Fingers are either pointing towards the side or back walls. And when you're ready, press into the hands and the feet, floating the hips and the bum, making what feels like a flat tabletop surface with the front of the body. Chin and chest coming together, or gently hanging the chin back. Lift that bum slightly higher if it feels like you're sinking or your table's sagging. With an exhale, bring the bum down to the mat by the hands, extending the legs long in front, and fold forward from the waist, keeping the spine long as you bring the nose and knees near. Inhaling, sliding the hands, coming back to seated. Let's bend those knees again, tucking the hands behind the bent knees, shifting back slightly to find that balancing spot at the top of the bum so we can float those legs into boat. Hands staying behind the knees for support, long by the legs or even at heart center. Gaze forward. Again, smiling through those shakes and wiggles. And let's press one leg long, lowering slightly but not connecting to the mat before coming back into boat. And repeat with the other leg. Your timing. Finish whichever set you're on, tucking the fingers behind the knees, bringing the heels to the mat. And let's release that upper body back, one vertebra at a time. Nice and gentle. Feeling the mat support you. Let's relax the arms by the sides. Just feel the mat beneath you. Let's walk those feet to the outer edges of the mat, letting the knees drop into center. And start that gentle windshield wiper motion side to side. Just releasing tension and tightness from the hips. As the knees dip to the right, let them hang there heavy, hanging to rest. Or if you want to go deeper into the stretch, bring that right ankle on top of the left knee. Arms and shoulders resting back and open. Let's start that windshield wiper motion again, side to side. And as the knees dip left, let them hang there heavy. Again, resting as they hang, or go deeper by bringing that left ankle on top of the right knee. Or stay right where you are. Let's hug those legs in towards the chest and start rocking side to side, finding that spinal massage. Extend those legs long to ceiling, ankles and toes touching. Let's point and flex. Coming into a little flex, we're going to do that reverse stomach curl, working that area from belly button to pelvic bone. So rest the arms by the sides with the palms facing up so we know it's the core that's doing the work. And when you're ready, you want to press through the heels as you engage the core so it feels like you're pressing towards the ceiling to lift. And take your time. Find a few repetitions. See how it feels. Sometimes you have to be cautious because you're almost building this rocking momentum, and we want to be sure that it's the core engaging that's doing the lift, not the actual rocking momentum. So again, take your time, just feeling. And let's find 3 more. Hug those knees in towards the chest when ready. Rocking side to side, just getting that spinal massage. Let that left leg sink along to the mat, still hugging the right knee to chest. Roll onto that left hip. And open the right arm long to the side, resting both shoulders back and open, gazing across those right fingers. We're coming into that reclined torso twist, hugging the knee, twisting the spine, just relaxing, still letting go. With an exhale, gently roll onto the back. That right knee hugged to chest, float the nose to knee, and let's switch legs. Drawing the left knee to chest as we extend the right leg long, sinking to the mat. Roll onto that right hip, hugging the left knee still to chest. Open that left arm long to the side, both shoulders resting back and open as you gaze towards the left hand. Just enjoying the twist on this side. Remember, you're also wringing out your digestion, so double benefits here. Plus, it feels pretty good. Slowly, with an exhale breath, roll onto the back, hugging the left knee to chest, float the nose to knee, and draw that right leg in as well. Making that tight ball with the body, rocking side to side, finding that massage. With peace sign fingers to the big toes, let's find happy baby. Drawing the knees into the armpits by the ribs, flat of the feet facing up, and rest that head back. Just enjoying the open space, maybe even rocking. Just rocking that baby in the cradle. Let go of the toes, hugging the knees to chest, still rocking. And curl the nose to knees. We're making that tight ball with the body. Find your full breath. And with an exhale, extend long through arms and legs reaching towards the ceiling. But slowly, let them sink down towards the mat, the belly button drawing towards the spine to the mat. Reaching long through the limbs, stretching, lengthening, reaching long, but relaxing back and letting go. Feeling as the toes drop open to the outer corners of the mat. Take a moment to adjust the shoulder blades as you bring the arms down by the sides, palms facing up to start that Shavasana. And feel the mat beneath you. Take a moment here for that self-body check head to toe, letting go of any tension or tightness you're still holding on to. Softening lines from the forehead. Letting go of any tension from the cheeks. Releasing tightness from the jaw. Feeling the collarbones and shoulders dropping back and open. The ribs resting. The belly softening. Feeling the hips nice and open. Rest back, connecting to the mat, feeling the breath move through the body, and still letting go. Stay here as long as you wish, as long as your schedule allows for that Shavasana, whatever length you need. Maybe you'll fall asleep. Thank you for flowing with us today. We'll see you soon. Namaste. Thank you for sharing space.